Welcome back to the Morphosis, where we explore transformation at the intersection of soul and system. Today's episode is one I've been looking forward to. It's with someone whose presence stayed with me, not because of big statements, but because of a calm, steady presence that felt generally calming, like reconnecting with something real. Manami Yamamoto is a psychotherapist, founder of Blue Humming Therapy, and a thoughtful guide in the global mental health space. But more than that, she invites us to remember something deeper. Wellness isn't something to chase, it's something to return to. It already lives inside of us, quiet, present, and ready to be met. Together we explore what it means to awaken that inner wellness. How do we grow the nurturing voice within, especially when the inner critic gets loud? What would it look like if mental health care truly honored our uniqueness, our culture, language, and ways of expressing emotion? And how might thoughtfully designed AI support that process, not by replacing care, but by gently widening access to it? And maybe, just maybe, what if wellness was never meant to be earned, but simply remembered? So wherever you are, take a deep breath, tune in, and let's begin. Manami, great to have you and allow me to start this conversation with an essential question. What does awakening inner wellness mean to you?
First, thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad to be here. So, true wellness within, I formed the idea because I grew up in the culture, mental health support is not that much available or very limited to access to mental health support. And also, there is a very strong stigma to mental health. So, I was looking for some way how everybody can access to mental health support or how everybody can be really well. And then through my professional working with the diverse client communities and plus like my personal journey, found out maybe we can focus on wellness inside instead of seeking the outside support. So that's the beginning how I started thinking about how I can support the people to realize like they already have a seed of wellness inside and how we can nurture that.
You say the nurturing side, which kind of sparks also the inner nurturing voice. So how can we begin to grow that voice when let's say the inner critique feels louder?
I learned people usually have a very critical, judgmental voice inside. And especially in my culture, like Asian culture, have that strong voice of critiques or judgment inside. And then the society actually use the voice a lot, and we kind of internalize the voice inside. So I start looking for the way how we can grow like a nurturing voice inside, and we actually used that nurturing voice to somebody or other people, like a parent using the nurturing voice to children. But they don't do that to themselves. So adults that doesn't use the nurturing voice for themselves. So I start creating the way like we can also have the voice inside. And then we can use the voice to talk to our inner child. Inner child is more like a playful, authentic ourselves. That's the way I shift my critics inside to start using more nurturing voice for my inner child. And
What has helped you access your own nurturing voice?
so I started using some like a nurturing parent figure who can carry like a very nurturing. So I start using that image and so let the image speak to my inner child. So I have a nurturing mother figure inside. This is different from my real mother, but that's okay. I formed that nurturing mother figure and then every day my nurturing figure is speaking to my inner child and kind of showing compassion and love and the acknowledgement. So my nurturing parent and the inner child, they communicate every day. They having that loving and compassionate bonding inside.
So am I seeing it correctly? Do we all have the natural capacity for inner wellness, or is this something that needs to be cultivated?
So because with that, like a very nurturing and accepting the base, so we can really nurture our well-being. So we can be authentic, we can be free now, we can be creative, we can really grow ourselves. And it relates to the true wellness. So that's why nurturing our basement is really important to grow the true wellness inside.
I've looked at your site and your practice. You focus a lot on I think it's called the non-verbal therapy, and maybe even the somatic practices to bridge the inner voice, and especially the ones that are struggling with like verbal or cognitive access to healing.
The somatic, like the using body, is our basic gift as a human being. So sometimes people really cannot express how they feel with words because it's so hard to express, or some people even feel that's restricted to express through the words. But the body and the more unconscious using the arts to express us through the unconscious. So it's much emotionally safer, but that they can always use their basic strength as a human being. And then that's a really powerful way to express how they feel and what they think. So we using our strengths to express our feeling. And then I think that's really powerful, like more than speaking with the word.
Can you give me some examples of the practices that you do within your therapy?
Yes, so I provide express art therapy. So that's non-verbal, non-traditional approach. And then we offer different type of art modalities. And we don't know which one people are like connect to. Some people like drawing, some people like music or using the body movement. So we don't know which one they are open to access. But we provide a different type of art modalities, and then they kind of start using the art and then expressing their feelings, or like they can heal their emotion, they can heal themselves through the art. So art give a lot of language to people who are not really comfortable to speak in language, or they don't know how to speak about their emotions through the words. So yeah, this is a really different type of support for many people.
How do you see the role within the reparenting in healing? And so, what does it mean to nurture the inner child, especially as adults?
I really try to help the parents because the parents they really try to support the children like their well-being, but they usually like a mental health is passing from adults like a parents to children. So we need to do a lot of modeling so the children can learn from parents how parents can take care of themselves. So that's why usually I talk with the parents. I understand like you want to support your kids' mental health, but before that, I really want you to take care of yourself. I really want you to think about your own mental health because it's actually more effective if you think about the children's mental health because it's passing from parents to children. So that's why I helping the parents to nurture their nurturing parent inside and talk to their inner child. And that way they can help themselves is passing down to the children.
If you're looking at the US and we're looking at Japan, I think you can judge as to how the systems work in both countries. Now you live in the United States. The question really is, how have these environments shaped your view on the mental health support systems?
Yes, so when I grew up in Japan, I think I got the sense of peace and the harmony and then feeling safe to belong to the community. So this is more like a cultural feelings that I could get from Japan. And then when I came to the US, I learned how I can be authentic, freedom, unique, and also express how I feel. And then so those like a different aspects I integrated. And then now I understand I need everything. But when I was in Japan, so I could see like some elements, and then when I'm here, I sometimes don't feel there's some elements I could get in Japan. So, but everything is me. I need everything. So kind of like start integrating in there. So I kind of talk to myself, it's okay, I have everything. And then the different space, maybe I can express different way. I have everything inside. So that's why, I don't really separate Japan, the US right now, because I believe I have everything already.
You often speak about uniqueness or that the need for the mental health care to embrace uniqueness. What does that look like in your practice?
Yes, I think the wellness needs to be very customized because sometimes media talk about a single fit for everyone. But when we think about everyone has their own personality uniqueness, and everybody has a different way to be well. So that's why I believe wellness need to be very unique as well. And we really need to customize for each individual what works for them. So my wellness practice may be not working for everyone. Everybody has a different preference, different way to be well. So you will talk to yourself. You will know yourself and what is really helping you to be well. So that's the question I want to give to everyone.
You've also mentioned that wellness is a universal right. But what does it mean when you say wellness is a universal right?
So in some country or culture has a great mental health support system like the US. I think the US has a really great mental health support system and compared to other countries, so they don't have that kind of mental health support system in the society. Sometimes people feel that's a privilege, but I really want to remind everyone that mental health, like being well, is the universal right, not because of the privilege. We cannot access the outside mental health support system. Depends on where you are, where you're located. So that's why I really want people to access to their own well-being inside, the strength, the resource you have, because everybody can access to inside wellness resource, and that's very equal. So that's why I said that's a universal right. And you have a way to access to that mental health support system within. So that's the message.
That's a wonderful message. And I think it all comes back again to the same, I suppose, mantra. True wellness lives inside of you. So having that sort of cultural understanding with each other, how can we truly listen across cultures without projecting our own values or frameworks?
So I have a lot of experience working with the minority and the cultures. And then I was really focused on the cultural minority experience in the past. And I still helping them, but more like I work with diverse clients and the communities and the cultures. And the more I found there is a universal aspect of the mental health. So we all have an emotion, we all have a mind and a body, and then even like, I don't know your culture, you don't know my culture, but somehow like we found the way to connect. Maybe like we sharing the emotion, we sharing the thoughts, and we caring each other as a human being. And that's very universal. So I try to focus on that aspect. So even like I don't know the people where they're coming from, but I kind of like try to find the like baseline. We are still human being. We are still have a basic emotion, and we still have a way to connect each other as a human being. So that's how I see with people from different cultures.
Now, obviously, your work is very focused on human to human interaction, whether it's non-verbal or whether it's verbal, it's person to person. Do you see or do you think there is a place for thoughtfully designed AI tools to extend emotional support, and especially then in places where access is kind of limited?
AI is the way to help more people, and in my practice, so I see some people live in the culture where there is a strong stigma to mental health. They prefer using AI because it's very intense to come to the office and talk to the therapist at the beginning. So AI is kind of helping them to get used to talk about the mental health or receive some mental health support. And then eventually I feel I need more human to human connection. Then like they start thinking about I wanna get to see the real person in the different places. I think AI helping that entry point for some people. So I think that the AI will be getting bigger and then develop the function in the future. So maybe AI plays more role in the mental health field as well.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean AI take over our role as a psychotherapist, but more like a collaborating and how we can spread this mental health support to more people, especially people like who live in underserved communities. So I think I feel very positive about the collaboration, but we need a lot of education around that because some people feel fear or some people feel anxious. It's not black or white, it's integration and how we can create that best integration for more people. That's the next step that we should think of.
Fully align with yourself that AI is a tool that, if used well, it can really support people in profound ways. Now, I can only look at myself in that sort of statement because I've gone through moments in my life as well when I needed a conversation.
I think AI helps us to organize our thoughts, reflect our thoughts. So I think it's really helpful. And with doing that, when you see the people that you might feel more connection and like a mirroring each other. And then like what we talk about the energy, so we feel more energy and feeling like a more human to human bonding. So we can use AI and human in a different way, but we can still collaborate and can create a better support system for more people.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Morphosis. What Manami shared wasn't just theory, it was an invitation to listen more deeply to the parts of ourselves we often overlook, to that inner voice that supports rather than judges, to the subtle language of the body, to the truth that we're already whole, even when the world convinces us otherwise. We talked about wellness, not as a luxury or a status we have to chase, but as something we can access from within. We explored how non-verbal therapies, cultural wisdom, and even AI can play a role in helping us return to ourselves. And what if wellness was not something we talk about, but something we can actually live and feel? Until next time, be kind to yourself and stay curious.